Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Ghost Exile. This is a game that you can find on Steam's Early Access program for about 15 bucks or so. When I stress Early Access, everything that you're about to see is subject to change. It is on sale for about 30% off until July 13th. You can get it for about 10 bucks. So if you like what you see here, hurry up and grab it. Ghost Exile is another one of those ghost hunter investigator games where you're trying to snuff out the ghost type and bring that information back safely and earn some money in doing so. Although this game lets you actually exorcise the ghost. There are extra steps that you can take to actually exorcise it. And I know what you're thinking, oh gosh, another one of those ghost games. Well, yeah, you're right. Ever since Phasmophobia came out, everyone's been trying to cash in on that whole click. But this game does some really cool things that I think Phasmophobia and other games could take notes from. For example, there's a character creation screen. I mean, yeah, you can, it's not a creation screen, but you can change your model, you can change your clothes, you can change your hairstyle, your hair, your beard, your eye color. That's not something that Phasmophobia currently offers. So I think this game, I mean, yeah, it's not a big thing, but I love that I can actually create my own character. I think that's really good. Another thing that this game currently offers is the ability to upgrade your equipment to some degree. You do have a PDA that you can look at from time to time, and you can unlock new modules by purchasing these upgrades here. And you can even buy insurance, and I believe there's like an energy upgrade. Although this game is a bit Englishy in some places, like English was not definitely the primary language behind this game at first, so some things don't translate very well. But anyway, you can at least upgrade your equipment. I know Phasmophobia is coming out with a patch. They've been teasing that for like half a year to a year now, and they haven't produced anything. So as far as I'm concerned, this game beats Phasmophobia in that regard as well. There's a number of different maps. However, one thing I will complain about is that there's no like information about these locations. I don't know their size. I don't know how many people they're appropriate for. I just have to keep randomly picking houses until I find one that I like and then note it down somewhere so I know to come back to it later. I think I would love a size. You know, what is the location size? What is it appropriate for? Like in Phasmophobia and other games, you can purchase equipment from a shop and then you can bring that equipment with you. There's a lot of equipment in this game, a lot of equipment. So as such, this game may be a bit grindy sometimes. I have a lot of equipment, but I'm afraid to lose it. I really am. I don't want to look, because I have a feeling I'll be spending thousands of dollars trying to replace everything. You can even enable some like special things, like you can enable the exorcism if you want it. There's like a death mode where if you die, you can navigate this maze and try and get out. Those are extra things that you can enable if you want to, kind of similar to Ghost Watchers. There is a truck. There's like, in other games, there's like a tent. There's a truck in this game. It's like this giant black rectangle that's really out of place in my opinion, but it's like your ghost van and truck. And you've got a ton of equipment. You're going to be bringing that stuff in. You can carry up to 4 things at a time, which I appreciate. One thing I hated in Phasmophobia was the constant running back and forth between the house and the truck. And it's just like bring stuff into the house simulator. Another cool thing that this game does over Phasmophobia is that you can hit E to open a door. That's a toggable thing in the options menu. So if you don't want to sit here and drag doors or interact with things, you can just hit the E button. You will need to on a regular basis too, because there are like passports scattered around the area, other information that you might need, and you'll have to hit E to open the drawer. So rather than click and hold and drag every single time, you can hit E, and yeah, that's so much better. Quality of life is great. Equipment that you'll find in this game, there's a voice recorder. You talk to it, and then you play it back, and it may talk to you. That is an evidence that you'll have to note in your little journal. There is an EMF, standard EMF 1 through 5. If it's EMF 5, that's another piece of evidence that you'll want to note as you're walking around the house. Like in other ghost games, though, typically you're only going to get 3 pieces of evidence, and you'll have to just, once you find the ghost type, you'll make a decision from there. Do I want to exorcise it? it's up to you. There's a crucifix for protection. There's incense. There's a UV light that you can find fingerprints. There's like I'd hate to use the word dots. It's laser projection is what it is. If the ghost interacts with that, it'll flash at you, and that's another piece of evidence. There are ghost orbs, and then there's another thing, I think it's called ghost haze. It's like haze or something like that. It's a giant floating cloud ball, and that is another piece of evidence. And that's typical of the ghost room. So when you find that, that's how I usually determine what the ghost room is. You can set the camera down and rotate it, which I like. The screen will pop up with like a preview of where it's pointing, and then you can place it. I love that. It's a little disorienting, and it takes some time to get used to the interface and how to interact with everything. There's like a motion tracker, so it'll tell you, what's been happening nearby or where the ghost may be. There's a ghost book that you can put down on the ground, and maybe it'll write in it. There's a spirit box. If you just, it's kind of like the voice recorder, where you just talk to it and maybe something happens. Although, another thing that you can enable in the options menu is there's a voice command menu, and you can just bring that up. If your microphone's busted, you can just use this voice commands menu and just say random phrases or point to the phrase that you want and ask it questions, and maybe it'll talk to you. In addition to there being a yellow thermometer like you see in other games, you can put a temperature thing on the wall, and it'll take regular readings of that room, so you don't have to keep picking up your thermometer and keep scanning it if you suspect the ghost is in that area. Instead, you just plop one of those bad boys down on the wall, and it'll take temperature on a regular basis. One thing that confused me was that my ghost book was all question marks on the ghost page. Instead, you have to find new ghost types as you go. You go back to your truck. On the second floor of your truck, yes, your truck has a second floor, you put in the evidence, you hit the search button, and it'll unlock a new ghost for you that adds to your ghost journal, and then you'll be able to pick it from there. That confused me at first. I'm like, why can't I only see the poltergeist and the djinn? And I'm like, okay, so now that I've got this 3 pieces of evidence, I bring it to the truck, I interact with the book. Oh, now the Doppler shows up in my type of ghosts area. But there's way more to unlock, and there's even levels to these ghosts as well. Different levels of the ghost will have different abilities, and I can't wait to see all the different abilities. There's even a little PDA tablet that you can interact with, and there's a new rover that was just introduced in the last patch. I admittedly have not messed around with it too much, but if you buy the right module upgrade in the shop, you can tell this rover to pick up items and bring it to you. You can tell it to defend you. You can give it some limited AI programming. The rover will just do something automatic if you don't buy that upgrade. It'll just kind of do its own thing. But I thought it was really cool. I have yet to really understand how to use it, but it's there. There's also the ghost exorcism part of this game, where you have to, once you identify the ghost, you have to spray a sigil on the ground. Sigils can be used for defense as well, but once you get the right sigil, you put it on the ground. There's ingredients in the truck. You bring those to the circle. And then if you found the passport of the ghost, which is the name of it, you can use that information. The ghost book that you get, the ritual book, will say the name of the ghost. And then you do that. And then it tells you to read this. And then you go here, close this portal, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Eventually, you'll get enough of those done to where the ghost is exiled, and that's it. There are some other optional things that you can toggle on. Like I said, when you launch your game, if you want to make the game more difficult, that is a thing. All in all, this game isn't bad. Like I said, it has some quality of life upgrades that I think we sorely needed in this particular genre. I sincerely hope the developer continues to run with this. According to the base, the home base, there's a story mode coming. There's a bunker that you can buy for $25,000, something like that. There's an outside section that is currently locked because it's under development. So it seems like the developer is going to be introducing new things to this game. I just don't know how quickly they're going to do it. It seems like everyone developing these Ghost games are taking 3 years off and doing their own thing, then coming back to it. I know it takes time to develop games, but still. Alright, well that was Ghost Exile. Great game. Looking forward to playing more of it. I purposely left out the spooky stuff. I'll let you discover that on your own. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care.